Hey, Fred. Hey, Fred. Ich meinske.
Yeah.
How's your day going? Mishnah moi.
Nich na shwa. Doch in Amschne.
Is it? I haven't looked. Tells you how much I go outside during the day.
Ci awat panin timat.
Can you say it just like that? It doesn't need a pa on the end?
Yeah, it just I guess you would have, sometimes, just itoch doch is Amschne, or else would it rain?
That's fair. That's fair. Well, you could be
Yeah.
talking about it raining in a specific place, like, oh, ik toch is Seattle, pa.
Oh yeah. The pa's important though. Just I guess a place statement. So yeah, go ahead and put that on there. Yeah, doch. Hey, Gene.
Hi, well, good morning.
Hey,
Nich
Gene.
Maitsky.
Niemaiski.
Nich
Nich
Maitsky.
Maiski.
Yeah,
Nich
that's,
Maiski. What's that mean?
yeah, that's why that says good morning.
Oh, Nich Maiski. Nich.
Yeah, that's why I sometimes I kid around by saying Nick might ski whenever. Yeah.
So you got to have a connection to it. Yeah, that
Yeah.
helps. Nick might ski.
Yeah, Nick might ski.
Oh, that's good.
So maybe rest of our classes they're all on spring break.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
well, I don't
Are you
know
guys
about
on spring
that.
break?
I'm not with the school district, so that doesn't put me on spring break. We're not.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm not sure that would apply to too many other people. I don't know if BMCC's got a spring break this year, so I don't know. I saw Bobby had been posting a good bit about some work they were doing on Facebook, so they weren't at Damien's class yesterday. Maybe they're just busy.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't know.
Well, I know Seattle U's on break. I'm their Indian elder in residence. So we get this week off. I'm on part of a group, a book club group
Nice.
with students there.
Mm.
And there's a couple cute girls I was telling them about you, in case you want to hook up with some really smart Indian chicks.
Talking about who?
You're the you.
I'm taken.
Oh, that's disappointing. I don't want to tell them that. I'll wait till after spring break then. Look at Jonathan. He's shying up there.
Same here. Gene. We're both spoken for.
Jeez.
Oh.
Well, we can go ahead and make use of our time, though.
That's good.
And the past few days that I was gone, it was good to good to hear my older brother, even though it was a sad circumstance of him losing his son. But he spoke a lot. It was good to absorb all of his language. And and it just prompted me to, just to try to speak a little more on when I had the opportunity to be able to share some words, and to not be I guess backwards, especially of not being able to share it with the young people that have that. They really have a desire, the younger one, the younger generation, that were never first language speakers like my brother and myself are, and my wife. So, and ako,
I don't really know his name. I keep forgetting.
nihpa ayak shana, nihpa ayak shana. Ayik pa ayik shana. Ayik shana. Yeah, nihpa ayik shana. So that says that they were listening good.
Mm.
In Tanmin Tamna Aupa, see, how do you say it? Their hearts are open, their hearts are open. And that's what we're always implied, like I remember listening to an elder speaking that, I can tamnakni, but they would say panmin tamnapawa chachalpi, panmin tamnapawa chachalpi,
What was that last word?
chachalpi,
Chach.
chachalpi. Yeah. Their hearts are open.
Mm. 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 That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And and
Mm.
it's always been the how to say the concern of the elders. Even back when I was young and used to hear, and they were always concerned and worried. Like how you'd probably say that there's in Chinchimaman, in Chinchimaman. Chinchimaman. Taminwa Pawacha,
Cha.
Pawacha, Payu, Whipwini, Whipwini, with the letter P, Whipwini. On the very front, you'd put that letter P in the very front of that. Whipwini. Then your first letter A is stressed. Or I, excuse me. There you go. And Chinchimam and Tamin Pawachapaya Whipwini. And so this statement says that they were always, our elders, they were always worried. Or worried, or I guess concerned. I guess you'd say it that way too, worried and concerned. Yeah. And then so, Achwe Chiao Cook, Achwe Chio Kook. Ikushnawa. Ikushnawa. So this would say that even today, that's how we are. So with these few little lines here, you know, just acquainting ourselves with the stresses and the sounds. You know, I was telling John before you guys came on that itoch toch sha amshnipa, itoch toch sha amshnipa. So I'll have Jonathan go ahead and recite everything that I wrote so far.
Ituch tuchsha amchnipa anakunich paich shana. Anakunich paich shana. Ben min timna bawa chachalpi. Inchi mamen tamen wa bawacha payu tuhutpuni. Achwai chi aukuk aikushnawa.
Good. Mm-hmm. You want to give it a whirl, Gene?
Oh man, you can't do that to me. I'm not awake yet.
I can walk you through, okay?
Okay, let me turn my sound up so I can hear you better. I need hearing aids too. Okay.
Ituch tuchisha or ituch tuchsha.
Ituch tuchsha. Ituch
Amshnipa.
umshnipa.
So
Umshnip. Ituch tuch inumshipa.
ituch tuchsha amshnipa.
Ituch tu imumshipa. What do you? I've had it. I need marbles or something to keep my tongue moving right. There's got to be a way to
Ituch
practice.
tuchsha. Ituch tuchsha
Ituch tuchsha.
amshnipa.
Umshnipa. Umshnipa.
Yeah,
Ituch.
amshni is outside.
Oh, umshni. Oh, and where's
Yeah.
the rain? Where's the rain part?
Tuch tuch.
Oh, that's rain. Tuch. Ituch.
Tuch.
Ituch.
Because of the way it sounds.
Oh, wow.
Tuch tuch. Okay.
Tuch. Are you saying tuch with a T-U-H? Tuch. Can
Tuch.
you?
You're
Or
having
like A.
we
Tuch.
call
Tuch.
it an ejective T, a popping T. Tuch tuch.
Okay. Tuch. 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 Amumshipa.
Amshni.
Umshni. Umshni. Right?
Amshni is
Tuch
outside.
is what? Outside.
Yeah.
Oh, umshni. Umshni. Okay, where's the S sound in there? Is that C thing?
It's the
Umshni.
Hatchek C. That's a CH sound.
Oh,
Umshni. Umshni.
see, I gotta learn the sounds first. Okay, tuch, anumshipa,
Umshni.
umshni, umshni, right?
Yeah.
Okay, tuch, amumshipa. It's
We'll
gonna
go-
really rain outside. I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll
I
move on
better-
to the next. We'll
Yep.
move on to the next one.
Oh, thank you.
Anaku
Anaku,
nich
nich,
paayik
paayik,
shana.
Shana. Nuch.
Nich paayik shana.
Paikshana. Paikshana. Say it
Good.
again.
Anakunich paayik shana.
Anukuni payak kushana. Anu
Nich paayik shana.
aikshana. Aikshana.
Yeah. So
Ni aku ni payakshana. Paik.
yeah,
Pai-
yik, the word for to listen is yik. Yik.
Yik.
Yeah,
Oh,
ayik. Yeah.
and where's the good part? Where's the good part?
Nich is good.
Oh, nich is good. Oh, Anaku nich paya.
Ayik.
Oh, he's changing the spelling on us.
My apologies, just a small difference.
Small, but that's probably big to somebody. Anakuni paya. Oh gosh. Yikshana.
Shana.
Ana. Ana. Nich. And what's, oh my God, nich. I get nich. I like nich. Yeek. You say yeek?
Yik.
Yik. Oh, yik. Oh, is it a command?
Well,
Or
there's another way that sometimes we use our word for to listen as machah, machahwa.
Macha.
But
Wow.
yeah, it's almost like paying attention.
Pay attention or
But the word that I'm using is like yikank would be a command form. Yikank, to listen.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yikank.
the command. Okay, yicking.
Yikin.
And is ink you listen or everybody
Yikank.
listen?
Yeah, yikank. Yikank.
Yikunk.
So it refers to hearing, listening.
Okay. Yikunk. Wow. Yikes.
Then also pike, papaiksha, nich papaiken. Nich papaiken is another way to
Nipa bike and
papaiken.
bike.
Nich papaiken. It's another way to be able to say that they listened good.
Nich papayakin.
Nipa bike and
Papaiken, nich papaiken, papaiken. Yeah, so like that, papaiken.
Okay.
So anybody that is like pike'la in a dictionary, it says it's somebody that's obedient, that listens. But somebody that's pike nuts, they're disobedient. Pike nuts. Yeah. I remember at a one time at a powwow, I was working with the powwow committee, these elders, when we still had a few elders with us, and I was trying to help them with the mic setup for the singers on the hand drum. And anyway, was trying to tell them singers that they needed to stand maybe in a triangle so we could hear them all sing, because they're standing straight in line and there were only all they could hear was the drum and not the singing. And I was trying to tell it to these elder guys, these elder men that were singing, and they didn't hear me. They're, you know, probably hard of hearing. So I went ahead and sang without their without standing how I asked them to. And because they didn't like listen, and it made it look like I wasn't listening to my elders how they wanted it to be done. So boy, I got kind of like a good, you know, one of the elders yelled at me, "Hikenk," you know,
Ooh.
"Hikenk," you know, like listen.
Oh God.
And I didn't want to talk back to them and tell them anything. I just threw my hands in the air like, you know, I'm trying.
Viking.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. So panmin means them or theirs. Okay, panmin,
Pamim.
tamna,
Pam-
hawa,
Awa.
chachalpi,
Ahalpi.
chachalpi,
Chahalpi. Chahalpi. Pamim. Dima. Bawa.
tam,
Chahalpi.
tamna,
Tamna.
hawa,
Oh, good. Kahalpi.
chachalpi.
Kahalpi.
Their
Kahal.
hearts are open.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful phrase.
Okay,
Pamim.
and the next one down, I think in Chinchi, would there be a glottal in there? In Chinchi.
Say it one more time.
In Chinchi.
It sounds like it because you're not saying in Chinchi, you're saying in Chichi. I can barely say it.
Chinchi. It kind of, yeah. In Chinchi Maman. In Chinchi Maman.
Mama. Mama.
Taminwa.
Tamam.
Pawacha.
Bawacha. Bawacha.
Hayu.
Ayu.
Whipwini.
Honey.
Whipwini.
Puhwini.
Had a lot on their mind is what that kind of implies, like concerned or worried. In Chinchi Maman Taminwa Pawacha Payu Whipwini.
Wow.
Yeah, pwit is it has to do with thinking. Like what are you thinking? So
Hmm.
tunam husha, what are you thinking? Okay, and then the bottom one says ahwe,
Ah. Ah.
chiaokuk,
Now, gook.
aikush,
Kush.
nawa,
Wana. No. Nawa.
ahwe chiaokuk, aikush nawa,
Beautiful.
ahwe,
Ahwe.
chiaokuk,
Jiao gook. Ahwe jiao gook.
aikush nawa,
Akush noa.
not akush.
I'm saying something bad.
No, I think that's one of the akush. I think it implies I matter.
Oh no, we gotta kind of move that away. Really? So it changes.
Yeah. So I kush Noah, like it's like that's how we are.
Akush noa.
I kush Noah.
Akush noa.
You gotta have that I
Ai. Ai.
kush
Akush
Noah.
noa. Akush noa.
Yeah.
Gook. Akush noa.
Yeah. So even today, that's how we are. So
Wow.
it goes in line with some of those earlier or prior phrases.
Yeah.
Whirl, Annie?
Where am I?
On the top right there.
Raining. Did we do raining?
Oh,
Go ahead.
yeah.
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 my bad.
I tuch sha amchnipa. Anaku nich I kinkshana.
Ha'ayik shana.
I shana.
Mhm.
And Hanmin Timna Pawa Chachalpi.
Yee.
In chi man
In Chinche Maman.
in chinchi man min tamenwa pawacha payu whip quick pini
Whipquini.
whip kini
Mhm.
akwai chi ao cook I cook shana I ku shana
Ikushnawa.
I kushnawa.
Yeah. Achoi Chel Cook, Ikushnawa. Yeah, that whip, like whipquini. Used to hear that, like Kushnish, like Kushnish Whipquisha. They would hear that too. Tunam Whipquisha. Tunam Whipquisha. What are you so worried about? Or what are you thinking? But you could just use it by itself. Tunam Husha. Tunam Husha. What are you thinking? Tun mashwap whit. Tun mashwap whit. What is on your mind, or what's your thinking? So that's what that tunam husha.
Could you ask someone, maybe I misunderstood, but could you ask them that too?
So I think when you double it like that, it's tunam husha. Almost like in a worried state. Like, what are you thinking so hard about? It's like you're double thinking, I guess, almost like you're really thinking extra hard, right? Yeah.
So it's emphasis. It kind of emphasizes that worry.
Yeah. Just like
Really?
I was saying earlier in the other statement, payupupkani, like just just kind of implies like just really, really worried, more or less. Payupupkani in the shwa. I'm just really just thinking hard. Yeah. And I was also thinking about another word. Probably if we go down to the next after down there would be weed to mute.
One more
Weed to
time?
mute. Weed to mute. Yeah, weed to mute. To mute is when you make decisions. So this would imply decision making. Let's see how it's.
I'm not sure. Reeves? So they've got to me it's spelled without the popping. Is that how you were saying it? Mute.
Without the popping.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find decision. Decide. Yeah, to mute. So in order to use this like asking, or like if I'm deciding on anything, then I would just say Tamiu Shash. Tamiu Shash. I'm deciding on whatever. And then if you're asking somebody what are they deciding, what is your decision, or tunanam we tumiusha.
Mish?
Tunanam we tumiusha. So what are you deciding? I used to kind of try to share this with the kids at school, to tell them about, because of, making like nichnam witamiuta, nichnam witamiuta, make good decisions. Might come a day, or come a time, there's going to be somebody that'll make a decision for you, and that could be the judge. And of course, I'm speaking from experience.
Nifnam wit miyuta?
Yeah, that would be like saying you are to make good decisions. Yeah,
Oh, like it's the you will because of
yeah,
that ta.
yeah. Or if you didn't make a good decision, then you would, just be saying like, "Chao ni nashwi timiyun." Or "Chao ni nash wi timiyun." Yeah, I didn't make a good decision.
Fred, did you say anything a moment ago? My headphones couldn't
No, I
cancel.
just said "Chao ni nashwi timiyun." I didn't make a good decision. Yeah, "Chao ni nashwi timiyun." I didn't make a good decision. So we Tamute, Ash, Tunam we Tmusha, Nichnam we Tmuta. On the one where, what are you deciding? Put an A in between that two N's there. I used to hear my aunts kind of speak that way. Tunanam, she would say, Tunanam. So I was trying to make reference to anytime that she when she would talk, she would use that kind of real thorough in her language speaking. Instead of just cutting it short, just tunnam, even though that's still correct. But when she would say it, she would, like I said, be thorough. Tunanam witamiusha, what are you deciding? Nich nam witamiutsta. Nich nam witamiuta. Chow nich na shwitamiun. So I know that every day of our lives, washdash nawa witamiut. Washdash nawa witamiut. So this would imply we have decisions to make. I guess if to say every day, Washdashnawa we or Washdashnawa we commute mais.
Oh, yes.
I think it's with the C, isn't it? I think it's with the C, mice.
Sounds like you're saying it with an S. I thought it was spelled with a C.
Yeah. Washdashnawa we commute mice. So we have decisions to make every day.
Like,
So mice would be basically saying daily, right? Every day. Then if you're having a hard time deciding on something, you would say something like "Huinash." Witamiusha. Tunanash. Tkwatata. Like when you get up there and you get up to a McDonald's drive-up window. I'm having a hard time deciding what I'm going to eat.
That's funny.
Hey, Aaliyah. Didn't know you were on.
Yeah, sorry, I got caught up working on stuff. Almost forgot about this.
Do you have any meetings coming up? Did you have one, or do you have any meetings coming up for baby words or whatever?
I'm planning, that's what I'm doing now, or what I was doing was for next week.
Oh, okay.
Next Thursday, probably at 1 now instead of 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just checking with you. And you're also being enrolled in the Umatilla language class, or you are?
I'm currently trying to sign up. There's some complications. I'm waiting to hear news.
Okay. Yeah, we're working on the details and everything, and anxious and excited. Anna Annie. And Anna is not an Indian word. That is Siapa man. He really thought it was an Indian word because he heard the kids at school at Nishawi. Fred, what does Anna mean? It's like, so it depends on how you say it. And that, well, I still don't know what it means. And that. Shit, the Coachella Shooks in that. I just left it alone. I didn't explain it to him. I just let the kid just keep saying it and let him be confused.
You know, you use the word Shiapo. How about Pashtun? Do you hear Pashtun too?
Oh yeah.
And what's Pashtun then? Is that Chinook?
Well, it's actually kind of a slur off of the word Boston.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
It's-
Boston.
They call white guys Pashtun up at Yakima too. Pashtun for white guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't Shiapo come from chapeau for French for hat, and Pashtun comes from Boston because of their hats.
You know, I never did ever really look into that. There's also another term, spell it out there, Jonathan, W A Y P I P O. White people.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Okay, you don't actually use that? Should I keep it or not?
No, I'm just my
Okay.
son texted that to me. I can't remember what he was talking about.
he
White
just made
people.
up a new word. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he just said, I can't remember he was talking about something, and I think it was about the rioters or something. You know, that was when they were converging on, you know, the Capitol. Oh, man, these people are crazy. You know, he just kind of texted me back. You know, then he used that white people, and I like what?
That's good.
But you probably are sharing something about you know, about that because sometimes we used to get in discussions about that. What if that was the Shiapa was, whether if it was even a slur or some I can never did ask about it, but sometimes because they were real shoey, you know, shoey, the early, you know, the early people, you know, real hairy, in other words, shoey.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah. So they had a shoey ma, you know, like just like the hairy ones.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because I've heard it means hair on face.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not
So
chapeau, like
a lot of beard.
oh, hairy
beard.
face.
Oh,
Yeah.
isn't that the name for the billy goat too?
Actually, it is, isn't it?
Shoey.
Shoey.
Oh my gosh. Sweet.
Yeah.
Gene, what was the French word you said you thought?
I
It
thought
might
it
be
was coming from chapeau, SCHAPEAOU, chapeau for hat. Since I have French background, chapeau, it's with a C. CHAPEAU, PEAUX. Yeah, chapeau. And then I thought the same for Pashtun coming from Boston. It was the Boston hats. You know, they had those beaver hats, but that my grandfather spoke what the trade language. He spoke Chinook, isn't it Chinook? The trade language. So it could be a derivative from that. Yeah, chapeau and yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, see, he spoke that. It was a trade language between tribes and you know. So
Chinook jargon?
yeah, Chinook jargon. It's really not really. It's a trade language. We call it a trade language between the tribes. Yeah, and my grandfather spoke that on my mom's side up at Yakima. He was Klickitat.
Hmm.
Yeah, Klickitat and Walla Walla in French. Je suis parle français aussi. Y hablo español también.
What was his name?
His name was William Harris Holt, Holt. He was a Holt. And there's Holts down at Lapway too that are related to us. And then the Holts were related to the Alneys, the Hoptowits, lots of people up at Yakima. So you know my brothers anyway. Did you ever meet Richard and Philip?
Just Phil.
Oh, you never met Richard? Oh.
No, I never did ever get to meet him. I know he was pretty prominent.
Oh, he was a writer. He worked for the Yakima Nation. Yeah.
For the review.
Yeah, with Washines, Ron Washines. Yeah, with the Washines.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's my idol. Yeah. When I lost my brother, I went back to where I was born at Mescalero. I was born on the Mescalero Apache, and they let me dance 6 hours straight to let him go. They put a shawl on me. They took me to the male dancers. They let me bless the male dancers. And then for 6 hours straight, I danced behind an 87-year-old woman who was a friend of our family's. She led me in. She said, only use Apache. So my first hearing of Indian language was Apache. So there's still Apache words in me, but I have real respect for them because they loved our family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they let me dance, and I danced my brother back to the sky.
Great.
Someday you should go there. It's a beautiful work. Dad said of all the people we lived with on the reservations, the Mescaleros were most like our people.
They got a casino?
Oh, do they? They have a ski resort.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they have because it's up in the mountains. It's it's beautiful there. It's got beautiful pine trees, and they're horse people, and they're beautiful teepee people, and they're good people.
Yeah, they seem to be pretty unique. I used to go to school with someone. Didn't really become too like friends with them, but I just got acquainted with some of them, and they have their own look.
Yeah,
Them Apaches, they have their own look.
yeah, and they're rugged. You don't mess with them. My sister and I went down there, man. We were taken right into the what in the hell are you doing here? Look. We went right into her house, and we sat there and we explained why we were there. We're not there to take their men or their things. We just wanted to say thank you, because we were born there. Boy, she scared the S out of us, man. And I was asked if I went into her house. I said yes. She invited us in to check us out, man. So I shouldn't tell you stories like that.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah, she shaped me right up, man.
Nicht an der Nacht.
Yeah, all those things you brought up today. These were big decisions to go into that teepee, because she was the mother lode. She set the pace for the tribe, and she was very protective of why we were coming in. And I like that. I like Indian women that are protective of what you're coming into and what you want to respect and what that respect means. Even her husband was afraid of her. He was in the other room. He never came out. He stayed. My God, that sucker stayed in the other room. I'm sorry. But that stays with you too. But you know what her house was like inside? She had all her ancestors around the lip of the room in pictures. I mean, she was from the Lupon band. And then my neighbor, who's Swinomish, her house was the same, all around the rim of her house, where she belongs to the Joe family up at Swinomish. It was just like being in the same place. Indian women surround themselves with their pictures of protection and prayer. And it was beautiful. I thought, I'm safe here really, because she's doing it the Indian way. I'm sorry, I'm getting too talkative, sorry.
That's good.
But I respect that decision to honor whatever that wish was from that person in that picture for here. And when you look up and when you make your prayers, you look at those pictures first before you make your decisions.
Mm. Yeah, nichnam tamna nachen. Nichnam tamna nachen.
Nichem tama.
Yeah, tamna nach, nichnam tamna nachen is like telling you that you know, you told a good story from your heart. Nichnam tamna nachen.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Nichem tama. Nichem tama nachen.
yeah, nachen should be nachen.
Nachen.
Tamna nachen.
Nichem. Nichem. Nichem.
I think it runs together there.
Tamna Nachen.
Tamna nachen. Tamna nachen. Yeah. So nichnam tamna nachen. You know, you told a good story. You know, and then it does have, you know, does like stem from your heart. You know, like, you know, tamna nacht is to story, but is to tell stories. You know, but it has that tamna in there that, you know, just implies, you know, from your heart, you know, speaking from your heart. Nichnam tamna nachen. But I know that a lot of times in our ceremonies, sometimes we'll hear that, and you know, now is the time to tell your story or whatever, or now or then is not a time to tell stories. You know, there's a time and place, you know, for storytelling, and yeah, tamnanach, like I said, is stories. Yeah, I never used to know that. You know, and that's I always share that gratitude about having our language program to be able to learn, and especially when we had our elders here that, you know, just being immersed with them in learning, you know, what they're, you know, how they spoke, you know, then they talk, you know, about stories, funny stories. Some of them had funny stories. And some of our elders, they weren't loud laughers, you know, sometimes they just kind of keep their little laughs to themselves, you know, and they would giggle. My grandma was like that. She wasn't a laugh louder, but I remember her and this other lady that was a laugh louder, just the two of them. Here's grandmother just telling stories, and then here's the other lady just, you know, just get to look over there, and there's grandma giving signals and just telling something. Here's the other old lady over there. Yeah, don't want to bother them. Yeah, it was real cute to see that, hear that. But on the same note, you know, when our people, and that's something that's been talked about a lot, is that even during times of loss, they would really cry. They would really cry loud. And sometimes now today we don't really see that, you know, and you know, they're, you know, people's, I guess they're, oh, we've heard that over the years. Sometimes our hearts are changing, I guess, or whatever. But you know, it was just so grand. Though I remember, you know, we would laugh because we'd overhear. And I always go back to that time at La Grande, Oregon, when they used to have the Indian Festival of Arts there, and here was we were just left there, and there was all these teepees already set up. There's Lonnie Slam, myself, and I think my sister Mildred might have been there, and then there was my grandmother and Lonnie's grandma. They were sitting on a bale of hay, and nobody was around but us, and I don't know, must have been about 20 teepees all set up. And here come the Siapo lady, and they wanted to do an interview. She wanted to do an interview for the local paper. So there she was asking questions, and so Lonnie is kind of, and one of the questions was, Says, did the two of you put up these teepees by yourself? You know, and so Lonnie has to interpret that. Paashap ni Shams and Amish napuin pam patukan chana chitlach chit schuli. You know, they understood the question. You know, they wants to know if we're the ones put up these teepees, and of course, grandmas would just answer, "Eh." Yeah. Oh, you know, sounded just funny, and then we're laughing, you know, like, oh, these two just, you know, saying anything to them, you know, and I'm not sure if that was in the paper. I'd like to try to maybe find out if I could get that clip, because their pictures, I think, were in that paper. Um, you know, later on, he goes, oh, so cute. Grandma and them were saying they're the ones that put up all these teepees. Yeah. But again, that, you know, Tamna Nacht, you know, sometimes I know we can go into, I got some recordings of my Tamna Nacht on that Gretchen recorded me in the studio. And, you know, like, I don't know, I can't remember, hunting stories, beetle pants stories even. You know, and it's funny how when we used to talk at the table telling stories, then my uncle would have to translate because grandma would want to know what we were talking about. Tukin them tiasha, you know, tukin them tiasha, what you laughing about? You know, she'd say something like that. And uncle would be trying to explain to her, you know, yeah, Freddie could have shot his first deer with his pants down. Tiet is laughter. Tiet is laughter. Yeah. How we doing for time, Jonathan?
It's 11:58 right now. I will stay as long as anybody else wants to stay.
Annie, you got any questions?
Ciao.
Ciao. Ciao, Mashwa Ashapnit. Jonathan, you got any questions?
E. So Thumna Nacht is a story that's told from the heart, or like a recollection, things like that. But are there other types of stories? Like I know you told me and Kristen once about, I don't remember it exactly.
Well sites. That's the legendary coyote stories. Yeah.
Is it just legendary coyote stories or any legends and coyote stories?
Most of our well sites, even though it might not necessarily totally include coyote, there are others that were, you know, involved in our creation stories. So I'm still waiting on that. Our library or our Temaslik, whether if they're going to get that book, Anakui Wacha, yeah, the well sites, and that'll be good once we get a hold of that. And
It'd be cool if we made our own. I don't know, how do you feel about that?
well, I know that we have I have a recording of Vera Jones, and I think it's either on CD. I think I got part of it on a CD, but also cassette tape too, I think. But I know we got some of her old recordings that I think Bruce Rigsby had recorded her a long time ago. And but she talks fluid and fast. Her name, and but she just shares about, you know, the skunks fart.
What's up with skunks for?
Yeah, like how he got it, you know.
That's a good.
Interesting.
And it's not translated either. It's just spoken, you know, kind of on the premise that, you know, so it's understood, I guess. But Upnawit is when you remember. Upnawit, remembrance, or, you know, yeah. Leah, got any questions? Leah?
I haven't thought of any.
Okay. And Jean? So Jean, just want to just keep encouraging you to, you know, study and refresh on our language here,
Yeah.
you know, and I appreciate you joining in.
Hey, I appreciate your words today. Thank you.
So
All your good words. Thank you.
Everybody, go ahead.
I got one more question not related to anything we've talked about today. Tune mold, Iwanisha, because I couldn't find a word for mold in the dictionary.
To mold, like
Mold, like the thing that grows.
mold. Oh,
Fungus? You mean like a fungus?
Not necessarily a fungus, but I mean, I guess
Oldie
molds
moldy?
and funguses are similar.
moldy.
But I figured there's presumably a word in that mold is, you know, a thing that's.
And here in the Yakima dictionary, it's nuts.
Oh, Panoosh.
Wow.
He sent that in the chat. Panoosh.
Yeah, pnus.
Do you recognize that word? Panoosh.
First time seeing it, and but it'll be a good topic for discussion, I guess, and just to like how it would you know, what reference is it though? Mold. I mean, like, you know, whether if it's, I don't know, like, well, I guess there's only one form of mold, right?
Well, it could be
It
clay.
is. Clay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, like the action.
Yeah.
Clay mold. Yeah. Pnus, yeah, it could be. It sound like it could kind of mean that too.
And it doesn't say anything more specific in the Yakima.
No,
Nice.
just that's it. Pnus.
Okay. Well, dang, I was curious about that. I don't
Okay.
even remember how I got onto that, but there's not a word in here.
Tunam pnusha. Tunam anisha pnutski. What are you making with mold?
Well, hopefully nothing.
Okay. Jake was now a shamata shancha wianwich not Mike to now it. Again, thank you guys again for joining on the Zoom.
Thank you. Thank you. Wakla.
Kwasa Shamash.
Papa Shamash.
E. E. L.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.